Hello, it's me, Lee Parnell, recording from somewhere in the south of England. And recently, myself and Eddie and Soren from the blog were invited to attend a wargaming day in the barn. Courtesy of Mike Everest and his birthday, he arranged 3 tables of Italian terrain. Invited, like say, myself, Mike, South, Soren, Eddie, and Dave Madigan. And we had some games of Italian-themed Flames of War. Now, shortly, I'm going to hand over to Mike to explain the theatre we're fighting in, the part of the actual Italian campaign we're playing. But in terms of the actual war game itself, this is very much a late war, 100-point lists, and up to the actual users themselves to theme lists. And we had the likes of Soren doing a very nice-looking Geberjäger army, including a fearsome sheep, and also some Italian long barrel Samventes standing in for Stugs, for example, which obviously makes them a little bit more armoured than they normally would be. But yeah, so we got 3 games in. I didn't really do a report the first game. As we go through into the second and third game, I do develop that a bit more. But yeah, it's not really a battle report per se, just showing what we're doing. And what we're doing in the barn, the games and the like. Unfortunately, I didn't get any video of the bolognese because Mike made a very nice bolognese for the evening meal. So, once again, on behalf of myself, Soren, and Eddie, thanks very much for hosting us, Mike. Happy birthday again. And like I say, as always, look forward to more games in the barn. So, I'll now hand over to Mike to talk through the actual setting, and then we'll work our way through the action of the day. Mike, talk us through where we're playing.
So, 1944, after the fall of Rome, which, like, everybody's like, oh, that's it, fall of Rome, fall of the first fascists.
So you can take it from the turret, so you just turn the turret.
The Allied forces are still going to have to go from Rome all the way pretty much up to the Hitler line, the Gothic line, and all this kind of stuff. You got 3 lines of defences, and you got to go all the way to the very top. Now, at the very, very top of Italy, they're not going to be fighting those World War I battles back in the mountains again or anything like that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the war is over by then. But they were prepared to do it. Via Ferrara through up into 3,000 metres above sea level. So it's really scary. So what we've done today is we've represented. This is the Foligno area. So Foligno at the top here. You've got the main railway line coming down here. So this is the Parone River. This is Spoleto. Spoleto is our action in mid to late July, so 21st of July, and it's a nightmare. It's one of those ones that doesn't get written about a lot. The action within it is just this swirling, chaotic action of intense violence. So 3 days, brushes past, and they go on, and they take another hill, and another hill, and another hill, and effectively you're into that First World War sort of thing, like Pilgrim Ridge type deal, but if you look at the topography, so these are the lines of what's the word? Contour lines. Thank you. So the Italian terrain that we're working with, we've got big wide valley that runs through the centre here. Yeah. But these are massive ridge lines. We're heading up to Montes as well, into the mountains and stuff like that. So Cheghino and these places like that. So we've got talking spot heights of 1,000 feet, so 300 metres, which isn't much compared
to spot heights in Normandy, where it's like 100.
100 metres. Yeah. So we're already talking large distances. So we're at 1,178 feet there. So this is in hold on. This is in metres. My apologies. Run that back. 1,361 metres above sea level. So we're talking serious work here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is way higher terrain than normal. Now it's not as bad as when you're hitting into the Dolomites. So when we were where I was the other week, which is 2,800 spot heights, but it's the comparison to what that is in the valley floor. Getting infantry, getting tanks up there, getting guns up there, you're having to use the same systems that they had 25 years before the Great War. So you're using cable systems, carrying systems, you're getting to the top, moving to the top there. Like moving a battery of 4 25 pounders, or even worse, 5.5 inch guns, is a slow, a long process. Which is why you see stuff like the M10 gun motor carriages being used almost in an artillery position as well, some of the pictures from Monte Cassino have them in with their guns right up.
Yeah.
They used to be represented in version.
It was in the Yanjo books. The Americans had the thing if you had fire control system, stuff like your 3-inch guns, your M10s could have fire
That's a
artillery.
big deal. That's a big deal. But we've found in this game, mortars are the key, and that's
Everyone is rocking mortars in this game.
The stuff we've got today is just really accurate. Is a good representation of what we've got, as best as we can do in version 4 with the hill on the far end there with the town, as you can see there, which I've kind of based on a million number of little towns.
Yeah.
One in the middle has got the valleys, and this one again with
Being close to Mike's nose then.
with a running valley down this battle here. So we've got these kind of big central ones here. So yeah, tons to be looked at. And there's these maps are well worth getting, because even if you're just playing toy soldiers, if you're doing France, maps are expensive. But maps for Italy, cheap, 20 quid for an original.
Where do you get those from then?
eBay, or there's eBay or various map sellers. You can get reproductions and stuff like that. This one's an original, untouched. So, yeah. Not to be reproduced or sold. Well, who's going to arrest me? So there you go.
7.
Nope. Friendly fires, diet friendly. How's it going?
9,
Yep.
So on.
Before we actually start with the first game, I should probably describe what my actual force was. I was using a German Panzergrenadier force based around 26 Panzer when the Panzer divisions deployed to Italy in 1944. They were supported by 508th Schwerpanzer, so were Tiger 1s. So I have 2 Tigers in the force, represent them. I had 3 Panzer IVs for the 26th Panzer itself. And then 3 platoons of infantry, some heavy mortars, a pair of medium mortars, a pair of grills, and some Pak 40s. So a fairly well-rounded force, able to take on tanks, infantry, with some organic artillery support as well. But obviously 2 of those units were only 2-gun bombardments, which was actually something that's going to bite me in the bum later. The first game was against Dave Madigan, and we were playing Encircle the Pocket, which is one of the newer missions in the latest pack. So I was basically in the centre, a little box, and Dave would be coming on from both sides. So I deployed my force, infantry in one hill, guarding the first objective, infantry on the other hill, guarding the other objective, Pak 40s in ambush. The mortars were set up in a little cornfield to try and give them some cover. The medium mortars were hidden behind a house, and the grills were lurking behind a ruin, but not sufficiently that when Dave set his force up, they actually died in the first turn because I wasn't actually paying much attention to the possible sight lines. So that was a lesson. Dave proceeded to actually take out 2 of my heavy mortars in the first turn with a ranged bombardment, which I think raged in the 3rd attempt, and then managed to kill 2 heavy mortars. Killed the 2 grills with his Sherman flail tanks. After that, his Gurkhas, because basically he was using 2 platoons of rifle infantry, British, a commando platoon to represent the Gurkhas, some armour cars, some 25-pounders, some heavy mortars, some medium mortars, and I think that was it. Oh, and some 6-pounders? Yeah, some 6-pounders as well, and some universal carriers. So one platoon was basically sent to deal with the infantry that was basically isolated on the main ridge line. The other platoon and the Gurkhas ran into the wood to face the platoon in the sort of small woods. That was quite a bit of fight with both sides. The Gurkhas slamming in. Thankfully, I had defence in depth, so I just fell back. Then my Tigers arrived from reserve. They ran up, also drove up, machine gunning enemy infantry. Didn't actually cause any casualties at that point. It might took one off, I think. They then proceeded to assault. So I went in, defensive fire. There's 2 platoons there, both Piets would miss. At that point, I killed a couple of Gurkhas. He counterattacked with both units. And then at this point, both Piets hit. One Tiger failed its save, one Tiger glanced to save. And then, just to add insult to injury, Dave passed both firepower checks. So 1 tank destroyed, 1 tank bailed, assault over, and tanks lost. So yeah, even Dave admitted that was probably a bit more than he was expecting, and obviously it did not meet what I needed to be done. The infantry proceeded to basically be pushed back, but like I say, I had a bit of depth. The Panzer IVs arrived, engaged in a fairly pointless draw with Shermans, where both sides didn't really do much of anything. But ultimately, it was the battle in the wood that would be the main crux of the battle and would see Dave win out. Because Gurkhas, well, say commandos, hit hard and 2s in assault. So the first game ended with basically a win to Dave. So that's my game. Let's just see some of the action from the other 2 games that have been played. Mike Effers was playing Soren on the village board, and Mike South was playing Eddie on the river board.
Panthers playing
Little guy. In the church.
They're already broken off.
In the church.
Holy moly! And then
he's
the
the Hits.
I'm not getting into the building.
And
Actually, I'm not. I'm my building. Get it. In it? Why are you getting it? I don't know, because the windows. I can't, yeah, that's fine. But
Right,
I
these
can't.
guys are going to go. 1,
Crouch.
2, 3.
We have a bulletproof cover.
Yeah.
If I could just drive their machine gun, you.
Oh, it's got a big here.
Let's just shoot these guys.
Yep.
Plus his 3.
The universe carriage.
Probably better
No,
start
I
this
can't
way.
hurt these guys.
All right.
So into the buildings.
You can do.
Yeah.
Trouble is
5,
that
2
if you
more.
go in here, and then you assault, I get pushed
Three,
back
three.
to here, and then they won't have sort of you start, you can push yourself out of range.
Okay. No, like they're going to kill
idiots.
5 hours quite high.
They're
It's
going to
not
shoot the
skill.
German.
Yep.
It's
Being broken
5
up.
hits.
Yeah, so it's just concealed. Just
Yeah.
don't assault as long range.
You take the hits and you fall back from the defensive fire.
Probably won't be.
So he can shoot that one.
When
He's
you hit
along.
force,
He can shoot that
so
one.
you're
He's
something
on
like
short.
that. So that's why normally it's the smoke
So
to get you hit on
2 on
fire.
short
Okay.
is 5.
Oh! Through the smoke.
1 hit
Oh, no, you hit
and
on
2
fire.
on long.
No, 1 on short.
So 1 on short, that's you can't
Go
say
through.
that.
Yeah.
He's dead.
It's a mess. It's
What mission are you playing first?
We're playing covering force, the new fighting withdrawal.
Okay.
So and I got to defend the mountaintop Italian village. with
As
my
Geberjäger, makes
Geberjägers.
sense, yeah.
So that was super cool. I forgot to use my mountaineer rule.
So the only reason to have Geberjäger.
on the table.
So that didn't pan out well. Mike put a big assault attack over the bridge.
But don't think
It was
you
defended
would
by
fall.
88s, and he killed the 88s. Nice and
Cost us some
close.
church as well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the churches like to kill money against it. They kill
Yeah,
by Antipas.
So,
Yeah.
Mike smoked, and I counter smoked, and then a lot of shooting and killing, and here we are.
So yeah, we managed to do a big sweep all the way around and get back. The primo divizione motori, so the Italian universal carriers got up there, hacked a bunch of Bosch down, which is good. Shouting, this one's for 1917.
Yeah, Mike, talk about your force, because it's not a British force per se, is it?
It's Primo Motore Divisione, which is like first motor division. So they are. So it's Bersaglieri as the infantry, and then these guys here, they actually get kind of rolled into the Centauro division. If you're playing them in Team Yankee, they're in the Centauro division, which is like the big famous division for them. But it's all like supposed to be Italian stuff, effectively.
Yeah.
Regia Sergio in 1943 switch over and join the Allied side, so, which is why I've got all of that, and I've got the sextants and stuff like that. They don't get like second line stuff; they get regular British kit basically. There's no rules changes. yet up front.
Yeah, Pete.
I live in a fantasy cloud cuckoo land with that much. But yeah, but that was a heck of a game. It was really good. That was really good. Thank you very much, Soren.
So we've got Mike versus Soren over here. We got Eddie versus Dave over there. And I'm playing Mike in Killing Grounds. I am defending, as feels right for Germans, Italy. Defending Gothic line or something like that. So I chose this side because I thought I could just use those little valleys and sort of create a killing ground, as the mission would say. Little one platoon around here in the actual courtyard. Another platoon up here on the hill. Plenty of space to fall back. That's will be quite. Mike is using, as we just discussed in the last video with Soren, his Italians in British service, as they were in the late stage of Italy. Mike, it's good to talk through what your force is.
Yeah, sure. So we've got 3 platoons of infantry, 1 platoon of the Churchills, which the North Irish Horse gave all their Churchills to the Italians. So those are Italian Churchills.
Yep.
That's 3 units of Shermans, but we mark them as double Ds.
Yep.
Because we have saber troops. 2 units of
Apex Predators.
yeah, Apex Predators, and they've got 50 cows and 1 Piat. A lot of them with 50 cows and those ones guys have just got extra weapons on them, so like MG42s, 30 cows, because there's loads of like stuff with them. Some Vickers machine guns, Sextons, and the 4.2 inch mortars, and we'll see if the aircraft arrive. After 6 turns last time they arrived once. We'll see if that goes all right. Okay.
So I am very much trying to. So I've also, in addition to what we just talked about, I've got the Tigers and the Panzer IVs from 508 and 26 Panzer respectively in reserve. 3 Pak 40s in ambush. That backs up the heavy mortars, 2 81cm mortars. The grills.
81 centimetre mortars.
Sorry, 81. Yeah, 81 millimetre. German 8 centimetres.
Bring me forth the 810 millimetre.
Yeah. So we're going to see how this goes. Right. So on to the first turn, which Mike has. Okay. So end of the first turn. Mike has advanced up across the board. Not much in the way of shooting success, apart from the planes he was deriding in the last game came in and gunned the grills up. So the grills have once again died before they've done anything in the game. That's a classic freshly painted troop issue. In my turn, I managed to range in the heavy mortars, which on the guys who were in the minefield, unfortunately the guy actually in the minefield survived, but has pinned them. So they don't unpin, that will slow down clearing the minefield. The medium mortars didn't unpin, otherwise I would have brought them down those guys. The Pak 40s have ambushed into the side of their Churchills, but only Bell 1 because of the being concealed in long range, makes it harder.
Enjoy.
No reserves on for me, so let's go hand over to Mike now and we'll let him continue his assault. So Mike's about to assault in with the Churchills.
Okay, here we go.
So cross checks first.
Anything but a 1. 2.
Yeah.
5. Right, okay, here we go.
So
These 2
Have we got
yeah.
cool. Drive through.
So one Panzerfaust in defensive fire.
5s.
So 4 dice.
Missed.
2 dice.
3 hits.
He is double
He is toast. Okay, do I want to fall back at that point? I mean, that guy is in 4 inches to counter-attack. I could fall back and come just stop those. Oh no, yeah, bailed.
They're bailed. They've been.
Right, let's go go for the counter-attack. Let's see what. Let's mosh up that. That was just moved at large. Okay, so now I'll fall those back. So Mike is now going to assault over here and clear that area.
Primo assaltaro bersaglieri. So these guys are going to go 1. That guy goes there. Wait, actually, can he reach that? No, he has to go across to this guy. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah.
And this guy's going to support.
We'll see after that. See who's arranged to go to the back. Yeah. So move those guys up. Into there.
And this guy, can he support? Yes,
Yep.
he can. So it's cool. Okay.
Let's see if that command stand in there.
I believe he's out. Yeah, there he's out. So he's
Right, so my defensive fire, obviously these are MG teams to get 2 shots each. The SMGs will be 1 shot each. So we have 1, 2 MG teams. Can you just measure him, see he's an 8?
And this guy's shooting.
Just see if that guy's an 8. Just in.
Oh, yeah, he's just in, yeah. And
Right,
these two are hitting on 5s, correct, yeah? Because they're conceal?
Yes.
Brick wall, yep.
So let's just do it separately. So 2 guys hitting you on 5s.
Yep.
Get 2 hits. Good start. Then this guy here hitting you on 4s. He's in the courtyard. 2 more. Right, all I need now is one of the 2 SMGs to actually hit, and it's assault. Right, so 2 SMGs.
You're going to get it. Yeah! Oh!
Right, so that stops it, and those are 6 hits, which is going to be
2 on each.
2 on each, yep.
Lead guy, he's alive. Second guy, dead. This guy, also dead.
Well, I'll go with that. That's it. And the other guy moves back 2 inches.
Fall back.
2 inches. Well, it's about, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's all over. Okay, so end of turn 2, and it's been a little bit of a bloody fair for both sides. Mike has made a clear minefield and broke through.
It's just 3 shots.
And then I just managed, even though he suppressed me, did everything right, I managed to just get 6 shots and stop the assault. Over here, the Churchills came through, assaulted, and cleared part of the position, but the infantry behind went to the minefield, did not clear it. They cleared it by exploding themselves and scattering
Yeah,
all
that's
the
bad
area.
news. We're going to have to engage the low box here and then get the old hand throttle going.
Hill climb.
Nuclear box by the end of this game.
The thunderbolts came in, hit, but I am pinned, didn't actually have any damage. And then I shot the sextons and missed on 5. 6 shots on 5s, got 4. 4 4s, it would be any other time, that'd be really good. My artillery, so but both mortars ranged in eventually, and they managed, but both times managed to kill 1 team.
Which is
Enough. Enough.
particularly when one of them was only 1 tube.
Yeah, exactly, one tube. I resisted the Tigers came on my reserve. Tigers got the deadly gunner, so I can reroll a firepower check and toast a show.
We'll see how we go with this.
So on to turn 3. Over to Mike.
My turn.
Right, Eddie, how's it going?
Apparently there's Spider-Man Gurkhas. I don't like it.
What mission are you playing?
No retreat against the hilltop.
Alright, the Gurkhas are
Gurkhas are assaulting up here like a swarm of
spider monkeys.
like the end of Matrix. Those robots with claws and Gurkharies. Just imagine that with Gurkharies instead of robots.
And these guys had to go
The
round.
Pack 40 is doing a lot of heavy lifting, stopping this side here. Not gonna lie.
And the Panthers are arriving.
The Panthers have turned up and then failed to follow me up a hill. So we'll see. Turn 2. Just starting from
Soren, how's it going with you guys?
fail safes.
my boys are dead.
I've heavily loaded one side, and he's heavily loaded the other side. I've been using smoke basically to stop him from.
Nice.
So you can kill him.
Okay, so Mike's now moving you. Haven't unpinned the infantry, he's now moving them up, ready for the assault next turn, or this turn I should say.
Fingers crossed.
Going carefully around the minefields. He says putting one of the stands actually in there. Yes.
And we're going to go across the Bailey Bridge there. Every ship is going to be there. Right, okay. I think it's going to be something. Right, engage.
Oh, the church is going to try and do a bit of hill climb.
Right, get the diff lock out. Here we go. Engage the drift pins. First one, we got Caracas. Driving up. He's up.
Okay.
Okay, so.
We have
Show you what bus engine can redo.
Carter Mandua. Yes, right. Carter Mandua is going up. We're going to go up to there. And then, if they're heavy, you know, it's what.
They're not plastics, yeah.
They're the old metal ones. And Claudius is going up as well. Okay, right.
So I think we're going to be looking for some more assaults in a minute.
This.
But Mike is putting all his hope on this, so we'll see how that goes in a minute.
I've read all the books. I've watched at least one Mark Felton video, and he said, I'm reliably informed by the world's biggest BSer.
Right, so in the shooting phase, Mike is now going to see if I hope so. He's got a range in first, on the open.
2 shots there.
First time.
4+, yes sir.
So, don't miss.
Hit me on force.
Both.
There we go.
You're the worst.
Dear.
Mark Felton.
Right, so Mike's just done the first assault with the Churchills and got to the top of the hill. Then went in with the infantry. That didn't work out for him, so I managed to push back a little bit. But Mike is definitely objective over here. And he's just assaulting into the courtyard here.
Okay.
Both my teams are pinned. So I'm going to get 1 shot from each SMG team and 2 shots from the MGs.
Those guys are going to be on 5s.
And in 8 inches, just out that guy.
Yeah, so it's those.
That guy is.
You rolling nothing but 6s again.
Right, so guy in the courtyard hitting you on 4s.
That's whatever he needs, right?
1 hit. 2 SMGs in the courtyard hitting you on 4s. Nothing. And then 2 MG teams outside the courtyard hitting you on 5s.
So
Three
three
hits.
in total. Right. Okay. So
So I can't stop the assault.
3 in total. So we'll do this guy,
Yep.
this guy, and this guy. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
We're dead.
So this guy gets killed.
Okay, hit me.
Okay. So the Bersaglieri Sottotenente. There's 2 guys there. He's dead. So Fucilieri, yeah, he's dead because they're lethal.
Yeah, so
And then 2 guys
second.
there. He's dead as well.
Right, so CO on a 3+ saves. No, that CO is dead. Okay, so my counter attack on a 4+. No, so I'll fall back. Okay, so I just had to do something very ill-considered, but Mike has managed to push into the courtyard and clear my CO into IC. He's managed to push on the hill, as we said last turn, to get onto there. I basically emptied the Tigers, the Panzer IVs who were recently arrived, and the Pat 40s and killed 1 Churchill. Okay, long range concealed really hurts.
Yeah.
So I had to go in for the assault. Lost a guy going in, got the Panzerfaust, and didn't kill anyone.
Didn't kill anybody.
But then
By withdrawal, actually.
Mike had to counter attack and failed the counter attack.
Found a counter attack, and then of course the classic moment of all I need to do is not roll a 1, because I bogged down.
Yeah,
So,
and then so let's go put him on the check in the next turn.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I hadn't done much about these guys, and that's going to leave us ejected here really vulnerable. So we'll see what happens in the next turn.
Which is the edge, so you can't. Why can't you read one can't? No. Right, so this platoon here, shooting up to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 shots.
Yeah. But I can shoot most likely that these are within 8. So they can shoot. I don't know if he's within 8.
So what's going on, guys?
I settled down into a bit of an infantry
Car
stance.
98.5 at this here, hit you on 4s normally, 5 pixel.
Oh,
that's some hits.
Yeah. So he's
2,
going to join him, but he's 2.
4, 4.
He's 2.
Not as many as
1, 1.
Not quite as impressive as your first look.
Okay. 4 hits. 4 hits. 4, whatever.
The rest of them,
2 are possible.
Yeah, you can.
1's dead.
One's
And then if you're within 4 of the infantry you charge in, they can move as well.
Churchill's trundling up the hill.
Yeah. There's the guys back there.
Still got a long way to the objective.
I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do from this point.
Keep going forward.
Options open.
What are you doing?
Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. We'll get to the hill and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, Claudius is going to drive up the hill. He's going to objective. He is! Go Claudius!
Who passes last stand on a 5? We're rolling a 5, so he's going
He's
to
going
really.
to back up and turn around like this.
Well known thing of exposing a rear to the Panzerfaust.
Well,
Use the engine as armour.
it's the rear to the Panzerfaust or the... you know what, I might as well just eat it. Veterancy is my armour.
Everything else is long range, so it's going to be
Oh,
a.
I see what the aircraft coming in here. No.
We finally have a terminal. Oh, no aircraft.
Total waste of points now.
Right, so Mike has managed to kill 1 of the Pack 40s with our 25 pounder bombardments and the Sextons. And he's now getting ready for the assault. So we're going to do this one first, are we?
Yeah, I think we are.
So what's going in first? The infantry?
So we got, so the infantry. Oh, I didn't even shoot the infantry first.
I'll just do it. Quick, do it. We haven't left the
So we
face
got
yet.
3 shots for the Tenente there. So he's got a Beretta and 3, 4, 5 shots in total. So,
So one has to go on HQ, my HQ first to get open.
So, yeah.
So he gets a save, he fails, he dies, he's dead.
Good.
And then 2 of the guys who still dug in, 1 has to kill.
Kills him as well. Oh my
There
goodness.
you are, Mike. Right,
Which actually, I think that may put me out of
assault.
assault.
But also takes me off the objective.
Right, okay, so I'm now out of the assault range.
Alright, over here then.
Well, can I assault over here?
Yeah, if you're in 4 inches.
Yeah, so in which case I'll
No defensive
send
fire.
the one guy, 2 guys into this.
I'll laugh if they fail us, I kill you somehow.
Okay, so 2 guys.
They kill me too.
Okay, so cleans that out completely, and they're going to completely out. Right, okay, so this one's the complicated one. Right, okay, so so the Churchill's going to go in. Roll anything but a 1. Roll a 6. It's
Right,
cool.
Panzerfaust.
Here we go. On a
5.
'cause you're
I'm not
pinned
pinned.
down. Oh no!
12 versus 8. Okay, 11 penetrating hits.
Penetrates hit. So
Just bailed. That's about.
So
That means this something never happens. So you go, basically go fall back 2 inches from where you go assault,
Okay,
and then you, at that point you are then bailed.
bailed out.
That's
Okay,
new set
so
one.
was that one in use? Yeah. Okay, it's fine. Let's go by. No, I've got one over here. Oh, there we go. And you're pinned down as well, so that's fine.
That's right. We'll get this one in a second. Right, infantry
So you're going to get 3, 6, 9.
might be out of range. Check 8-inch range. Well, move up first.
So I think you will be, but you know
by
what?
the time you move up,
it's
yeah.
5s though, so we're going to be going in. So that guy was there, wouldn't he? So he goes 4, so he's going to go there. And this guy's going to go there. So 3, 6, 9, 12 shots on 5s. Right, you got 3 there. Do you want to have a bit of a handful?
Yeah, give me 6 at least.
So you got 6, so that's
That's
twice.
twice. I then drop it because I'm a muppet. That's fine. When it's on post.
Exciting. Right, okay, so
Right, so hitting on 5. First handful. 1 hit.
1.
Come on, second handful. All on you. No, 1 hit.
1 hit. So 1 save on this guy here. Kills
At least
him.
dies.
So the
Right, you're hitting me then on 3s.
3. So I've got
3 guys.
2 here. And this guy, he's dead.
Yep.
He's alive.
Okay, so counter attack on a 4+. No. Which pushes you back.
Pushes you back.
It pushed me off the objective, not that you were on at the start, but
That's the important
it
thing.
means it's going to start a turn on neither objective, which is not ideal.
So shall I fall you back how far?
I need to be at 6 inches away.
Oh, you're all right on the edge there, man.
Yeah.
So we'll push you back.
I'm just going to have to assault myself back that way, aren't I?
Yeah, so
So if I've only got 3 guys left in that platoon, and I like
my infantry is soon going to move up into their vineyards. Try and shield Claudius from getting killed.
Okay. Well, that ends Mike's turn, I think, at that point. Okay, so we actually forgot to do the end of turn briefing, but we'll do it now while we're moving up. So, after a bit of back and forth, we managed to largely take out the Churchills and the infantry to capture this objective, but it's looking really dicey over here. Mike managed to kill my HQ commander. I then forgot to move up in my turn, but managed to shoot and scoot to at least get 1 guy contesting the objective. But Mike is just unpinned.
Yep.
Let's hit marker off. And my guys are still pinned. Sherman has one Sherman got killed by tigers, but the other one's still remaining. And he passed his test.
This hill is clear.
This hill is now clear. It's all going to come down to this
coming
objective.
in, not going to make a difference anyway. Right, okay.
It's all going to do. It's all about this objective now.
Right, okay. We're going to so all we need to do is focus absolutely everything on killing 3 men. How hard could this
Not
possibly
even that. Kill 1 man.
Is all it is.
That's all it is. Kill 1 man. That's all it
In
is.
which case, we're going to Sotta Tenente is going to open fire with his Beretta. 3 hits.
I'm out in the open, so I can move it. That's right. All these dice are on 6s. That didn't help. There you are. Game. I'm trying to look for the camera. Right. So I think in the wash up, I had a good line here. I just didn't have anything, but I had no depth to it. As soon as those grills died, once again dying in the first turn, I thought the guys being alive and putting that fire in, that would have made that thing coming there a lot dicier. But yeah, that's quite just there's aircraft coming in the first turn.
That really was. I'll take it all across every time. That hill was the best.
That was a fight. That was a fight and a half. I think I got lucky at various points. Your infantry didn't unpin. It all got a bit chopped up, so it bought a bit of time. Whereas over here, there was always stuff hitting me in the face, and just not losing the CO until I seized it was a massive blow.
The handover between for the Tenente, so when he handed over from the area and switched over to these guys pushing up, that was
So my cock up, the tigers. I didn't need to come behind you. I can kill you from the front with tiger.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I should have just come through here and just sat on the objective.
It was looks really cool, and you got caught up with it. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But those Sherman's can't.
Yeah, I think that's traditional league, just getting too up in the moment and not thinking it through.
But,
Overreach. Well, not overreach this time. I didn't reach far enough. It's underreach.
Reach around. No way. That was excellent. Thank you very much.
That's right. Thank you very much. It's an ETC off.
I don't know. Who's shooting? Because you want it to be out, but it's not going to be out. I want it to be out. Right, those two there. The rest of the two is going to light up. The ones who are that side.
Eight's when you're moving, that's one.
That's when I'm moving. Some over there and the rest over there, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Who's shooting what?
Hey, this is the 12 shots from the HMGs. That's your boss. The 6s to start with. I don't get a single 6 and 12 dice. Thanks, Lee.
Sorry.
It throws me off. It's too nice in it.
I think I can get 4.
Yeah.
It's like cheerful German.
Yeah, that's 5. You got
Bloody aggressive sexual tension.
4 guys under. They're the same. Or no, 5 guys under.
There's my 6 commands.
Okay. So the 2 special guys. 1 hit.
Oh no, woman's.
That was terrible, right?
Talk us through it, guys.
Dice suck. Game skill. It all fell apart when I realised that I misheard the mountain rules. And I was going to run up and down this with a skill check. And my deployment sucked at that point.
These guys.
Other than that, it went alright.
So what was that? What was that double one you just rolled at
The
the
double
end?
one was the last stand
Yeah.
for this
Only
platoon
team that
to
can
contest this.
Right.
Even though his other platoon are here, his one I see is there. So the platoon commander's there, and the one I see is in that building there.
Right.
So he gets a re-roll because his platoon commander is within 6 inches of line sight.
Phil, we need to talk, Phil. But even with that,
Even with that,
you still roll a 1.
maximum level game this.
Dear.
The curse of the mad dog continues.
What mission were you playing?
There's no retreat.
No retreat.
I thought we were fighting over the town.
Yeah.
But then Dave decided to put a title on this road. So, I've still got this objective. The main objective, the one that's worth 5 victory points, is still mine. Well, I had to. My God, man.
Dude, it's consecrated ground.
I did fail 4 2-up cross checks due to this little low rise.
That's God telling you that you're wrong.
4. It's cost me the game because they should be here,
Yeah.
putting fire down into there. So. Oh well.
Oh dear. So you won your first game, didn't you?
No, that's the first one.
Oh, that's
I got
against
sorted
Mike,
off
yes.
the objective. Fortunately, there you go. My sky baddies are not the best in this format. So they're fun.
No.
They are in the forest.
Okay, so we're playing No Retreat. Keeping with what we do all day as Germans is defending, because that's pretty much what we're doing in 1944. Mike is playing using other Mike's British as attacking. So Mike elected to put one objective on the left flank there, as your thinking was being on that one.
This. Fairly small. It's the exact opposite to that.
Yeah, because I put this one down first in dead centre of town.
I was hoping that I'd do you load up the fortified city and I'd be able to perhaps swing around to this one and just deal with your tigers when they come on.
Yeah, correct. So I got the Pack 40s in reserve, Tigers and Panzers in reserve. Tigers and Panzer reserve, Pack 40s in ambush. As Mike pointed out, I have put heavy mortars infantry and the grills in the centre of town. One platoon here behind the minefields, so Mike's got to come and try and get the minefields, clear it through. And I can bring fire on down from town, but I haven't got. The Tigers come Panzers come reinforce it. So we'll see how it goes. Because Mike, hopefully, over the course of the last 2 games, has been learning all the things about using smoke screens and that kind of thing. So I've got the toughest game now. I've got the Mike who's like 2 games worth of lessons coming in. So
Lessons given, not necessarily learned. It's a very important difference.
right, let's crack on. Okay, so just finished the first turn. Mike has been very aggressive and moved up. Moved to the minefields, lost a couple guys to the minefield. Oh, actually, that's more over in that one there. Though most guys just ran in quite happily and didn't set anything off. Most tanks moved up at a dash to get behind them, and then the other carriers also moved up. Lots of fire going on. Not much of the end result otherwise. My guys got pinned, which I unpinned afterwards. My return fire, the grills repeat fire, but the smoke, Michael quite successfully dropped the smoke and bomb it down. And I only re-killed one guy there. The 2 81mm mortars did bugger all. but the heavy mortars actually quite a few casualties, which is quite good. Pack 40s are out of range and blocked by smoke, so I just deployed them. They're going to lurk there for next turn, I think. And I didn't get any reserves. So, on to turn 2. So what are you guys playing?
5 hits, they're as well.
We are playing
4.
Encirclement. I'm being punched in the face.
Yeah, that doesn't mean why you see it until I see a pin yet.
No, they're 7.
And what are you chaps playing?
So we're on team.
We are playing Richard.
Richard, cool.
No.
As we said, we're playing No Retreat. Mike's just moving up. Mike's just unfortunately had all his guys not unpinned in a minefield. So
that has blocked my progress somewhat.
yes. We'll just see how it goes, because unfortunately those churches will probably be putting down lots of fire now and lots of repeat bombardments. So it's not going to go all my way, I feel. So, end of turn 2. Like as we said earlier, Mike was a bit unlucky and didn't unpin any of the infantry, so he's stalled a bit. Yeah, the Churchills have moved up, done a bit of fire, have pinned the infantry here, then unpinned in my turn. Artillery, certainly doing the best thing ever, the 25 pounders. Killed one of my mortars, have pinned the infantry, where they managed to unpin, and then missed a grill unfortunately. But have also your little mortars have once again pinned my HQ and the platoon next to him. And the CEO has once again failed to unpin himself, so hilariously. Unfortunately, a 6-pounder missed the grill, otherwise that might have dampened down the artillery a bit further as well. But
it's going to come down to these.
But you need to unpin and clear his minefields, because once you do that, then you'll be hitting me in the face in quick succession, I think. So the Tigers arrived. I got deadly gunner again for the Tiger race skill, but missed because of the range and all that kind of thing. The range, the walls that just missed completely. Oh, there's no dead Shermans either. Well, the Shermans survived. So yeah, over to Mike for turn 2. Okay, so Mike has managed to blow the most minefields up, clear his way through. So the bridge is closed, those guys are closed. They've moved up, ready for the assault next turn. Didn't quite pin me this turn, so you quite quickly assumed not to assault, just keep it for next turn, get the smoke down. Sadly, the Shermans got picked off by the Panzer IVs and the Pat 40s. So the Tigers versus Churchills got hit and it bounced off the range. Ding! But I suspect this turn, Mike's going to be getting bayonets on and getting in for the close-up fight. And once again, it's a case of just what can I get into the objective after that. So, we'll see what happens in turn 4.
I'm going to run you out of town!
Yeah, so it's not gone especially well this turn. So a Tiger, one Tiger was hit by the Churchills. I rolled a 1, he ran away because I've got my lucky card. On my turn, I then remember my lucky card, failed the 2+ last stand, and then failed the re-roll the last stand with another 1. So, yes, so all the Tigers have run away. The heavy mortars have unpinned, but then didn't range in. Neither did the 8 centimetres. So it's a bit of a non-turn for me. And Mike has been chipping away. Got a bit unlucky at defensive fire on his last assault, so he couldn't actually make the assault in. But no Tigers around, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem this turn, is it, Mike? Carriers have been eaten by Panzer IVs.
Yeah. I've got to unpin these guys. I think
Yeah, unpin those guys and keep that Sherman going. And maybe you might want to start doing something with those guys just to keep the pressure on.
Yeah.
I mean, you've taught me bringing those guys down the hill. I can't do anything because if I do that, it's just good. You got basically a full strength platoon there, minus 2 guys. They lost 2.
How many platoons are in this? How many infantry stands?
There's basically again a full strength platoon, less about 2 guys. So it's in the balance. Not really more.
I mean, the Allies do have form for bombing historic churches on their side. So I could just go for that with the artillery. I mean, it won't make them more entrenched.
Well, yeah, because basically my infantry in the packs are still pinned. So the Panzer IVs you have to worry about. But that's it. Plough through.
Yeah.
Like Mike was saying, it might be worth thinking about going in for the Churchill charges, because they can have a good chance of stopping those Panzer IVs.
Yeah.
The Pat 40s are a concern. You might still kill them.
Yeah. So I'm going to do is because I've got machine guns.
I just realised the camera's upside down. When someone comes in edit this, it could be really annoying later.
Let's get the machine guns in.
Okay, so end of that last turn 5, I think it is. Mike is just trundling his Churchills through the village. Managed to get there and just try shooting him and missed in my little blitz. Try to get Simon shot and missed. Managed to take out a few guys, but that's it.
Pinned a lot of them.
Pinned a lot of them, yeah. Everything's pinned. Mike's also trying to move around to flank me in the village, so that might manifest something in the turn. But I still think the main action is going to be around here as we push into the next turn. Feel like we're starting to get to a crux here, but it's not on the objective yet for the 4 inches. But we shall see. Right, so in the end, Mike's managed to bludgeon his way through. I mean, both platoons are looking very poorly at the end of that, but they have got the objective. And so, yeah, Mike wins. Yeah, so.
Cheers. Thanks for the instruction.
That's right. And so there we have it. I finished the day with 3 losses out of 3 games. But that's not the important thing. The important thing was having some good fun with the guys. It was great to meet Soren at long last. Often talk to him virtually online with video calls, but nice to meet him face to face. And once again, thanks very much to Mike Everest for organising that and hosting us, providing us with plenty of food. It's always nice. And it was just great to have 3 nice looking tables, all themed, 6 painted armies, and everyone playing pretty much in the spirit of the actual day and the theme and the talk of the actual theatre to make some nice themed games. Very much recommend to people out there, if you go set aside a day in your club's sort of calendar, set a theatre, set the tables up appropriately, and just try and have some games, within the sort of constraints of D-Day versus D-Day or Bulge versus Bulge. It makes a big difference to the game sometimes, and mixes it up compared to just standard pickup games. As always, if you like our content here, then like and subscribe. There'll be more coming. I'm just putting the finishing touches to some video unboxings of the Centurion S-Tank kits. We've just recorded another episode of Shooting Scoots, that'll be up soon as well. And as always, leave your feedback below. This obviously wasn't meant to be a proper battle report, but we are trying a few more things. We are starting to look, once Eddie gets his dedicated gaming area set up in his place, try and do some proper battle reports at long last. So yeah, until next time, this is Lee Pyle signing off for Break for Assault, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.